It really strikes me how our bodies have their own little dramas. A splitting headache, you notice immediately. A queasy stomach, yep, puts a stop to everything. But your liver,
Hmm.
that incredible workhorse, it often just suffers silently. Unlike those, really loud pains, you could have liver issues brewing for years without a single peep.
That's a really important point. Your liver is constantly working so hard, doing hundreds of essential things, but it just doesn't have those direct pain signals, not early on anyway.
Right.
So for you, that lack of obvious symptoms, well, it can be really deceptive.
But here's where things get really interesting and actually quite encouraging for you. The very thing that can cause problems our food well, it also holds the power to heal.
Mm.
So today, we're diving deep into what the science says, looking at a list of foods that hepatologists,
Yeah.
liver specialists, actually recommend. And get this, a 2018 study showed just 2 tablespoons a day of something pretty common led to a 29% drop in liver fat. Yeah, we're definitely going to uncover that ingredient for you and really explore how your diet impacts this vital organ.
Absolutely. And this deep dive, it's really designed for you, the listener, to kind of navigate through all the info and understand the practical steps you can take with your diet.
Yeah.
We want to give you knowledge that's, not overwhelming, but genuinely actionable, stuff you can use every day.
Okay, so let's shine that spotlight on this unsung hero, your liver. This amazing organ, just over 3 pounds, quietly runs the show with over 500 vital functions every single day.
It's mind-boggling.
Think of it like your body's most sophisticated processing plant. While you're just going about your day, it's there, tirelessly filtering toxins, processing nutrients from your food, making essential proteins.
Storing vitamins.
Exactly. Storing vitamins, regulating blood sugar for energy, managing fats, even helping your blood clot. It's incredible.
It truly is remarkable when you list it out like that.
Right.
The sheer variety of tasks it juggles, mostly without you even noticing. And understanding that multitasking really highlights just how crucial a healthy liver is for your overall well-being.
And today, this organ is facing challenges like never before. You're constantly exposed to pollutants, processed foods are everywhere.
Sedentary lifestyles, too.
Right, sedentary lifestyles, even medications you might take. It all adds to the liver's workload. It's facing this kind of constant barrage.
That's right. And to really appreciate what your liver's up against, it helps to know a bit about its detox process. It works in 2 main phases.
Okay.
So phase 1 uses special enzymes to break down harmful stuff. Now, what's interesting and something for you to be aware of is that this first step can sometimes create intermediates, byproducts, that are actually more reactive, potentially more damaging than the original toxin.
Whoa, okay, hold on. So phase 1 is just the first step, and it doesn't necessarily make things safe right away. It could even make them worse temporarily.
Exactly. That's why phase 2 is absolutely crucial for you. In this stage, the liver attaches other molecules to those reactive things, making them water-soluble, which means they can then be safely eliminated from your body, through urine or bile. It's a really delicate balance. It shows why supporting both phases is so important.
And it's not just about getting rid of the bad stuff, right? Your liver is also constantly making essential things you need.
Precisely. Every single minute, about 1 liter of your blood flows through the liver. It gets filtered, bacteria, toxins, old cells removed.
1 liter a minute? Wow.
Yep. And at the same time, it's making bile, which you need to digest fats properly, synthesizing proteins for your blood, even making cholesterol, which, despite its rep, is essential for hormones and cell structure.
Which brings us back to why this silent suffering is so, well, concerning for you. It's almost unbelievable that an organ doing that much doesn't have a direct way to yell ouch in the early stages.
It's such a critical point for you to grasp because it lacks those pain receptors. Damage can build up. Inflammation can hang around for years, often with 0 noticeable symptoms. By the time clear signs appear like jaundice, swelling, maybe persistent digestive issues, the damage is often pretty extensive. That's why being proactive, supporting it before symptoms show up, is key for you.
The statistics really paint a worrying picture for all of us. Something like 1 in 4 adults worldwide now has non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD. And the truly alarming part for you to think about is that loads of these people have absolutely no idea.
And what's really relevant for you is how fast it's increased. The prevalence has doubled in just the last 2 decades.
Doubled.
Yeah, doubled. And it closely mirrors the rise in obesity and big shifts in our diets. And look, it's not harmless. If you don't address it, NAFLD can progress. Inflammation, then fibrosis, that's scarring, and eventually cirrhosis, which is irreversible and severely impacts liver function.
So it really boils down to this core idea for you.
Hmm.
The foods you eat are either powerful allies, helping those detox pathways and giving antioxidants,
word.
or they're silent saboteurs, directly damaging liver cells, overwhelming the whole system.
That's the central message for you, really. Food is incredibly powerful when it comes to your liver health, for better or for worse.
But there's a really encouraging takeaway here for you, isn't there? The liver isn't fragile. It's got this incredible ability to bounce back.
Oh, absolutely. Its regenerative capacity is truly remarkable for you to appreciate. Your liver can actually restore itself even after major damage. It can regenerate even after losing up to 75% of its tissue.
75%. That's amazing.
It is. It means that with consistent, targeted dietary support, you genuinely have a chance to reverse damage and restore function, even if your habits haven't been perfect for years.
Okay, let's dig deeper for you now. Let's talk about some unexpected allies, starting with something many of us grab every day: coffee and tea. It's almost a complete turnaround, isn't it? Coffee used to be suspect.
It's a fascinating shift in understanding and important for you to know. For years, doctors often told people with liver issues, stay away from coffee. But now, hepatologists see it very differently. The evidence supporting coffee's benefits for your liver is just too strong to ignore now, which is good news for many of us.
And it's not just a hunch, is it? We're talking about coffee actually working at a cellular level to help your liver.
Precisely. Studies show regular coffee drinking helps lower those elevated liver enzymes, ALT and AST.
The ones they test for.
Exactly. When they're high, it signals inflammation and damage in the liver. So for you, knowing that coffee drinkers consistently show lower levels suggests it's actively helping calm that inflammation down.
And some of the research is huge, right? That UK biobank study.
Absolute massive. Nearly 500,000 people. That 2021 study was a game changer. It found that folks drinking around 3 cups of coffee daily had a 21% lower risk of chronic liver disease.
Wow.
But the really striking finding for you, almost a 50% reduction in the risk of death from liver disease. That really puts coffee way up there as a powerful dietary tool for supporting your liver.
It's wild to think that something so common has over 1,000 different bioactive compounds helping you out.
It does. Things like chlorogenic acid and cafestol in coffee are potent antioxidants. They neutralize those damaging free radicals.
Okay.
And they also have significant anti-inflammatory effects. So for you, coffee isn't just a pick-me-up, it's actively protecting your liver cells. It might even help reduce collagen buildup, which leads to that scarring fibrosis.
What about tea, our other daily brew? Does that offer similar perks for you?
Green tea, while maybe not studied quite as much as coffee for liver specifically, definitely has its own liver-friendly benefits for you. The catechins it contains, especially one called EGCG.
EGCG, right.
Yeah, that seems particularly good at reducing fat accumulation in liver cells. So green tea is a great addition if you're looking to prevent or tackle fatty liver disease.
So it works a bit differently for you then compared to coffee.
Seems so, yeah. Lab studies show these catechins can inhibit your liver's fat production and help break down existing fat stores. And like coffee, the antioxidants fight oxidative stress, a major driver of liver inflammation and disease progression for you.
Good to know. I have heard about green tea extracts, though those just as good for you.
Ah, that's a really important distinction for you. While brewed green tea is generally safe and beneficial, those extract supplements, well, in some cases, they've actually been linked to liver damage.
Really?
Yeah, the super concentrated levels of catechins can potentially overwhelm your liver, so it's generally safer for you to stick with the natural brewed tea.
Makes sense. And with both coffee and tea, is there like a sweet spot? A certain amount you should aim for to get these benefits?
Yeah, there seems to be a dose-response thing happening for you. The protective effects tend to go up with moderate intake, but drinking tons more doesn't necessarily keep adding benefits.
Right.
For coffee, that sweet spot for liver health seems to be around 3 to 4 cups a day for many people. For tea, while we need a bit more research, enjoying a few cups daily is certainly beneficial for you.
And it's interesting that coffee's benefits seem pretty consistent across different groups of people.
It is. Studies across different populations, different methods, they all point towards coffee's protective effects for you. And maybe the most surprising bit, even decaf seems to offer similar liver protection.
Decaf too. Huh.
Yeah, it suggests that compounds other than caffeine are the real stars here for your liver.
So the bottom line for you seems to be, both coffee and tea can help, but right now, the research suggests coffee might offer more consistent, maybe more pronounced liver protection.
That's a fair summary for you, I think. Coffee looks like the front runner based on current evidence, but hey, incorporating both into your routine, that can definitely provide complementary support for your liver.
Okay, moving beyond your morning drinks for you, let's get into what I like to call nature's medicine cabinet. Berries, grapes, and those cruciferous veggies. I was fascinated reading how some plant compounds are being compared to actual drugs in effectiveness.
It's a really exciting field and holds so much promise for you. Plants evolved these incredible chemical defenses over millions of years.
Right.
And it turns out many of these compounds that protect plants also have profound medicinal effects on our livers, often by activating your own built-in cellular defense systems.
And it's not just any old plant, right?
Yeah,
Certain types seem especially good for your liver.
exactly. Research from the University of Illinois highlighted berries, cruciferous vegetables, think broccoli, cauliflower, and purple-colored produce, as being particularly effective at stimulating your liver's detox processes.
Let's start with berries for you. We know they're full of antioxidants, but how do they specifically help your liver?
Berries have specific polyphenols shown to directly target and reduce liver fibrosis, that's scarring for you. That 2020 cranberry extract study was pretty convincing. A 25% reduction in liver stiffness after just 6 months in people with NAFLD.
Wow, 25%. That's a big deal for you to consider. What about blueberries? They get a lot of press.
Blueberries are total powerhouses for you. They're proanthocyanidins. They've been shown to slash markers of liver injury by up to 60% in animal studies.
60%.
Yeah. They seem to work by cutting down oxidative stress and inflammation while also boosting your liver's natural detox pathways.
Okay, now let's tackle those cruciferous veggies for you. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, maybe not everyone's favorite, but they sound like liver superheroes.
They truly are liver superheroes for you. They contain these things called glucosinolates. When you digest them, they turn into isothiocyanates.
Right.
And these compounds directly switch on phase 2 detox enzymes in your liver. Basically, they supercharge your liver's ability to neutralize harmful stuff.
And broccoli sprouts seem like they're in a whole different league for you.
Absolutely. The research on sulforaphane, that key isothiocyanate in broccoli, is remarkable for you. And sprouts. They pack way more punch. We're talking 20 to 50 times more sulforaphane than mature broccoli. So a small amount of sprouts gives you the same liver protection as eating like a pound and a half of regular broccoli. Huge difference for you.
And what about those gorgeous purple and red fruits and veggies for you? Grapes, plums, berries. Their color is amazing.
That vibrant color comes from anthocyanins, and they are incredibly potent antioxidants for you. A 2019 study highlighted how they specifically protect the mitochondria in your liver cells.
The power plants of the cell.
Exactly. And they're really vulnerable to damage from toxins, so protecting them is key for you.
I always thought grape juice was healthy, but you mentioned whole grapes are better for the liver for you. Why is that?
Yeah, that's a common misunderstanding for you. Grape juice has some good stuff, sure, but whole grapes offer way better liver protection. Studies show a much bigger drop in liver inflammation markers with whole grapes. The fiber in the whole fruit is really important for you. It helps deliver those anthocyanins properly and supports a healthy gut, which in turn benefits your liver too.
And beetroot. That earthy taste, vibrant color, does that help your liver too?
It certainly does for you. The betalains giving beetroot its color have shown impressive liver protective effects. A 2020 study found a big jump in antioxidant enzymes in animal livers fed beetroot juice again, boosting your liver's natural defenses.
You mentioned cruciferous veggies activate the NRF2 pathway for you. What exactly is that, and why does it matter so much for your liver?
Think of NRF2 as like the master switch for your liver's internal cleaning crew and repair team.
Yeah.
When it gets activated, it triggers the production of a whole range of protective enzymes. These neutralize toxins and repair damaged cells for you. And what's really amazing, sulforaphane from broccoli seems more effective at flipping the switch than many drugs, leading to a much bigger increase in those crucial antioxidant enzymes for you, up to 300% in some studies.
Wow. This is really fascinating for you to consider. It just hammers home the power of getting a variety of these plant foods into your diet to support your liver.
Absolutely. They offer this broad spectrum of protection for you, working through multiple pathways to keep your liver healthy and help it regenerate.
Now, let's dive into something that might sound a bit weird for you. The fat paradox. We've often heard, avoid fat for liver health, especially fatty liver, but it sounds like certain fats are actually good.
You've nailed a really crucial shift in thinking, and it's important for you to understand this. That old advice, just cut out all fat for fatty liver, was way too simplistic.
Right.
The Mediterranean diet studies showing big drops in liver fat with olive oil really blew that idea up. It forced us to look much closer at the type of fat you're eating.
So it's not that all fats are bad for you. It's about picking the right ones.
Precisely for you. Let's start with omega-3s like you find in fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines. These are polyunsaturated fats, and they directly fight two main drivers of liver damage for you: inflammation and insulin resistance. That big 2016 meta-analysis was compelling, showed a significant drop in liver fat in NAFLD patients taking omega-3 supplements.
And how do they actually work their magic on your liver? What are they doing?
Well, unlike saturated fats, which can stir up inflammation, omega-3s act like signaling molecules inside your liver cells.
Okay.
They switch on specific receptors, like PPAR-alpha, which then activates genes involved in burning fat, while at the same time switching off inflammatory genes for you. It's like reprogramming your liver's metabolism for the better.
What about extra virgin olive oil for you? The cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet.
EVOO is another perfect example of this fat paradox for you. It's the combination monounsaturated fats plus those powerful polyphenols that creates this amazing synergy for liver health.
Synergy, right?
That 2018 study showed that even though they ate more total fat, the group on the olive oil-rich Mediterranean diet had a much bigger reduction in liver fat and better liver enzymes compared to a low-fat group. That's crucial for you to know.
Are there specific compounds in olive oil doing the heavy lifting for you?
Yes, things like hydroxytyrosol and oleuropein, they've been shown to boost the function of those mitochondria in your liver cells, making them better at handling fat.
Back to the mitochondria.
Exactly. They also activate something called AMPK, a key metabolic regulator that helps stop fat piling up in your liver in the first place for you.
Walnuts also popped up as being good for you.
Absolutely for you. Walnuts are pretty special because they have an almost perfect ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fats for liver health. Studies show regular walnut eating can improve your liver function tests. Plus, they're high in arginine, an amino acid your liver uses to make glutathione, that super important internal antioxidant we keep mentioning.
And what about MCTs, medium-chain triglycerides from coconut oil for you?
MCTs are interesting because they have a unique metabolic route for you. They kind of bypass normal digestion and go straight to your liver.
Oh, right.
This gives your liver a quick energy source and maybe reduces its overall processing burden. Some studies suggest MCTs can also lead to a reduction in liver fat for you.
It's just fascinating how different types of fat can have such wildly different impacts on your liver health.
It really shows how complex your liver physiology is. The right fats give you essential building blocks and signaling molecules for repair and good function.
Well, and the wrong ones.
Exactly. The wrong fats trigger inflammation and mess up your metabolism. Big difference for you.
Okay, so we've talked about the allies for you. Now, let's face the silent saboteurs, those everyday foods that might be hurting your liver in ways you don't expect. Fruit juice was one that really stood out for you.
Yeah, fruit juice can definitely be a hidden problem for you. We tend to think of it as healthy, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it delivers this massive hit of fructose without any of the fiber you get from whole fruit. It's essentially a fructose bomb landing right on your liver.
And what happens when all that fructose arrives at once?
Well, unlike glucose, which your whole body can use, fructose gets processed mostly by your liver. When it comes in fast and furious, without fiber slowing it down, it just overwhelms the system. And it triggers something called de novo lipogenesis, basically. Your liver starts making new fat. And importantly for you, this can happen even if you don't actually need the calories.
That American Journal of Clinical Nutrition study was pretty stark for you.
It really was, showing a big jump in liver fat production in just 6 days from drinking the fructose equivalent of a couple of sodas or juices. While the same calories from glucose didn't do that, that really highlights the specific negative impact of concentrated fructose on your liver.
And it's not just the obvious fizzy drinks for you, is it? Even those healthy store-bought smoothies can be loaded.
That's a crucial point for you to be aware of. Many smoothies pack in huge amounts of fruit, but without the fiber, your liver gets hit with a fructose load similar to a soda.
Right. Of course, we can't talk liver saboteurs without mentioning alcohol.
No, alcohol has a very well-known significant impact on your liver. It's like a two-pronged attack.
How so?
First, when your liver starts breaking it down, it produces acetaldehyde. This stuff is highly toxic damage as liver cell DNA, depletes your precious glutathione.
Okay, that's bad.
Second, your liver has to prioritize detoxing the alcohol. It diverts energy and resources away from all its other vital jobs. Everything else gets put on hold.
And it seems even moderate drinking can have an effect on you.
Yes, that 2023 study showing measurable changes in liver stiffness, an early sign of fibrosis in a big chunk of people drinking just 7 drinks a week, that was concerning for you.
7 a week isn't that much for some people.
Exactly. And what's really noteworthy for you is that these changes happened before standard liver enzyme tests showed anything wrong. It suggests damage can start much earlier than you might think.
Trans fats are another big villain for your liver health.
Oh yeah. Trans fats, often lurking in fried and processed foods, are particularly nasty for your liver, for you. Research shows they can increase liver fat way more than other fats with the same calories.
Why is that?
They seem to mess with your liver's ability to actually export fat, so it builds up. Plus, they trigger inflammation. Double whammy for you.
Processed meats also made your list of saboteurs.
Yes, things like bacon, sausages, deli meats, they can be high in AGE's advanced glycation end products.
AGEs?
Yeah, they form during high heat cooking. Studies link regular consumption to increased markers of liver inflammation in you, and that's separate from just the fat content.
And finally, refined carbohydrates. Yeah. White bread, pasta, pastries. It seems their effect on blood sugar is the issue for your liver.
Exactly for you. When you eat refined carbs, your blood glucose spikes rapidly. This triggers a big insulin release.
Right.
And while insulin manages blood sugar, it's also a major fat storage hormone. It essentially tells your liver, store fat. Longitudinal studies show a much higher risk, like 76% higher, of developing NAFLD in people eating lots of refined carbs.
So it really highlights how the type of carb, not just the total amount, matters for your liver.
Precisely for you. That quick glucose spike and the insulin surge directly impact fat metabolism right there in your liver.
Okay, so we've covered the things to limit for you. Let's end on an upbeat note, focusing on the healing allies. Garlic, turmeric, and other natural wonders that actively help your liver's detox systems.
This is where it gets really exciting for you. Limiting the bad stuff is crucial, yes, but actively adding these healing allies, that can really boost your liver protection.
Right.
These aren't just passively good, they actively switch on your liver's detox machinery in amazing ways.
Garlic, most of us have that. It's great to hear about its specific liver benefits for you.
Garlic is a true powerhouse for you. Its organosulfur compounds have been shown in clinical trials to significantly cut liver fat in AFLD patients.
Wow.
Likely by stimulating the production of those vital glutathione S transferases, the enzymes that help your liver actually get rid of toxins.
And turmeric, with that bright color. We know it's anti-inflammatory, which must help your liver too.
Turmeric's active compound, curcumin, offers major liver support for you. Research shows it can increase bile production, vital for flushing toxins, and also effectively lower inflammatory markers right in your liver.
Milk thistle is another one I often hear mentioned for liver health.
Milk thistle and its active compound silymarin has this fascinating double action for you. It can physically block toxins from even getting into your liver cells, while also stimulating protein synthesis, which helps with repair. Studies show significant improvements in liver function tests with it, especially with alcohol-related damage.
What about artichokes? They seem to come up a lot for liver health for you.
Artichokes, thanks to cynarin, are potent promoters of bile flow for you. Research shows big increases in bile production, and human trials found reductions in liver enzyme levels with artichoke extract.
Oats, we think of them for heart health because of the fiber, but they help your liver too.
They absolutely do for you. The beta-glucan in oats, that soluble fiber, binds to bile acids in your gut.
Okay.
This forces your liver to pull cholesterol from your blood to make more bile, so you end up excreting more bile acids, which helps lower both liver fat and cholesterol levels for you. It's a neat mechanism.
Even something common like dandelion roots has liver benefits for you.
Yep. Dandelion root contains taraxacerin. It's been shown to boost bile production and enhance antioxidant enzyme activity in your liver. Small human trials also suggest improvements in liver function with dandelion tea for you.
And globe artichoke, that's different from Jerusalem artichoke, right? What are its specific liver benefits for you?
That's right, different plant. Globe artichoke has flavonoid compounds that uniquely support both phase 1 and phase 2 liver detox pathways at the same time for you.
Both phases. That's efficient.
It is. Upregulating detox enzymes and increasing glutathione levels. Very helpful for you.
It's just incredible how these natural compounds can have such broad yet targeted effects on your liver health.
What's really fascinating for you is this multi-target action. Unlike many drugs focusing on just one pathway, these natural compounds influence multiple detox pathways simultaneously. They create this synergistic effect that's really hard to match with single compound medicines.
So, wrapping things up for you, it really feels like your liver is constantly working to rebuild itself, and the food you give it is the essential building material.
That's exactly it for you. Think of every meal as an opportunity. Are you sending in the A-team construction crew with the best materials to support your liver's constant repair work, or not?
So, some key takeaways for you, our listener. What should you focus on?
Absolutely for you. Definitely try to incorporate those liver-loving allies regularly.
Hmm.
Coffee, broccoli, and its cruciferous cousins, fatty fish like salmon, garlic, extra virgin olive oil,
Okay.
and just be mindful of limiting those silent saboteurs. Heavily processed foods, excessive added sugars, and of course, alcohol.
It's really empowering for you to know that your liver has this amazing capacity to bounce back and heal itself.
It truly is for you. With consistent nutritional support, you are genuinely actively taking steps to transform your liver health with every single healthy choice you make. It adds up.
And finally, maybe a thought to leave you with. Just consider that your liver's health isn't static. It's this continuous dynamic process happening right now for you. The complex dance between your diet and this vital organ. Science is still digging deeper, suggesting the impact of your daily food choices has profound long-term consequences that we're honestly only just beginning to fully appreciate.
Well, thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive.